Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Some good news. It really is. Not being sarcastic this time.
Yeah.
Usually when we tell you there's good news, it's sarcasm because there's no good news.
Or there is good news and we just find a way to ruin it.
Yeah. This is actually good news. And I can't think of a way to ruin it. Federal judge in Florida has voided the national mask mandate covering airplanes and other public transportation as exceeding the authority of the U.S. health officials in the coronavirus pandemic.
Huh.
How about that? After 2 long years, or whatever it's been with airplanes, we finally can fly without suffocating the entire trip. Nice!
Yep, and this is...
Sir, can you put your mask back on?
No.
Sir, put your mask back on. I'm going to have to call the marshal.
I'm eating.
You got a marshal on this flight?
Right.
We supposed to know that? It's so irritating, and I think it's unhealthy. And you've got the great filtration system in airplanes that everybody talks about. 10 of the big airline executives, the CEOs of airlines, asked the Biden administration, can you please stop? And they still wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, after this federal judge order, the TSA said, yeah, we're not going to enforce it anymore. So there you go.
This is what we've talked about.
And I guess that starts today.
Oh, it started immediately yesterday. In fact, the major airlines immediately, it's like they had the press releases already printed up, ready to go.
Good.
And this is what we've talked about. The 4 years that Trump gave us federal judges. Remember, Mitch McConnell's been up in the Senate for who knows how long. He says he's never seen where all federal bench posts had been filled. This is one of his appointees.
Shows how big that was.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a great decision. Otherwise, we would have started another 15-day period yesterday. And instead, it ended. So after the 15-day period ended, there would just have been another one. They would continue this nonsense as long as they possibly could. But a federal judge finally said, okay, no, you're exceeding your authority. You don't have to wear masks on planes.
Yeah, so her name is Catherine Mazel. She's 35 years old, which, of course, the left decided to point out for whatever reason. I guess, you don't have to be...
Because that's a terrible thing now?
Yeah, that's too young. Then explain AOC and her age, please. But look, if they're so upset, they can start their own airline and they can force masks on their crew and their passengers. Isn't that how this works?
If you love the mask so much, why don't you marry it?
Why don't you marry it?
Why don't you marry it? And then wear it on the stupid plane. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to stop you from wearing a mask if you're too scared of life now. If you're so afraid, and some people are going to be. Some people are going to be too afraid. And I just saw, we had our church mask mandate removed, I don't know, a month or two ago, probably. And there's still a person or two in our congregation, we call them wards, that are wearing masks. And I thought, good for you.
There you go.
Good for you. You're doing what you think you need to do.
It's called choice, right?
That's great.
And
I haven't heard I seriously have not heard of a COVID case anywhere around us in I don't know how long. Couple months, probably.
I love the left talking heads talking. Should a judge have this much say, this much power? That's how you guys have operated for a generation. What are you talking about?
My gosh.
And then they go back and they find these old tweets of what a brave judge to call out Donald Trump and stop his immigration policy that bans people from travel policy that bans Muslim countries. People travel. Remember that thing? And they're like, that one brave judge stood in the way.
Yeah. Like this much power. She said you don't have to wear a mask.
I know. Oh,
That's powerful, man.
Took us back to 0.0.
You talk about Nazism. Whoa.
So another hero comes from Florida. That's
so
what this
great.
judge is.
That is really great. So, if you're having to fly for business or pleasure, but especially for those who have to fly all the time because of business, this has to be a pretty great day. Because that was stifling. Just the flight from here to Orlando and back practically killed me. It almost killed me. Yeah.
Wow.
Had it gone on 1 minute more, I would have died on that plane. I would have suffocated.
I'm actually not mocking you because my sentiments exactly.
Hated it.
Seriously.
Hated it. And it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But still, that's 2.5 hours longer than I ever wear one.
Did you lean against the window?
Yeah, but they were
Nazis,
so anal about it.
They are bad.
Sir, you need your mask back on. Could I ask you to get your mask back on? Sir, could you please put your mask on?
Shut up. And then, of course, you get in trouble on a flight. You can't get unruly on a flight.
So, okay, they're already talking about that Congress needs to pass this as a law. Right?
What, the mask mandate?
Yeah. So that way, because the CDC, that's the ruling. The CDC just overstepped their authority. They have no business making this rule. So if Congress wants to make it a law,
that would be asinine.
Oh, right. What do you think fall would look like? What do you think the elections would look like?
Oh, a bloodbath? A bigger bloodbath than they're going to be. I mean, they're already going to be outrageous.
Like John Kerry's never been affected by a mask mandate.
Look at that douchebag.
I'm not going to be put on the defensive.
I'm not going to be put on the defensive. I'm not going to apologize. I don't have to apologize for anything I do. I'm an elite person. Don't you know that I was married to the woman who was married to the Heinz fortune? Don't you know that?
Ketchup.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I know you.
I come from a long line of ketchup people. Well, I don't, but my wife did, and I sponged off her for a good long while.
Sure.
Fact is, I'm still sponging off her. We're still married. Yeah. The Heinz Queen, by the way, don't mix up Heinz ketchup with the Heinz Foundation. The Heinz Foundation sucks.
Okay.
Heinz ketchup is fine because that's what John Heinz started and founded, and they're separate. They're separate entities.
Okay.
They really have virtually nothing to do with each other except the name. So a lot of people get hung up on that.
How can you order Heinz? How can you buy Heinz ketchup?
Well, because it's delicious, and it's the only kind of ketchup there. I mean, I suffered through some other kind of ketchup over at a burger place that's close to here.
Yeah.
Last week or the week before.
It's not even Hunt's over there, is it?
It might be Hunt's.
Really?
It tastes like it's rancid.
Okay,
it's so
Hunt's.
bad compared to Heinz. It tastes rancid.
Like when you're having Hunt's, you
gross.
think why did they put blood in a package that says ketchup?
Yes. Right.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
It's almost got a metallic taste like blood. It's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only Heinz for me. Only Heinz. Day before yesterday, because it was Easter. Or did he do this yesterday? He just did this yesterday morning, didn't he?
Correct.
Instead of Sunday. Why didn't they do it on Easter? Do we know?
I don't think they ever do it on Easter.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's always right around there. I think it's always the Monday after.
Well, the White House had a little get-together and, a little Easter thing going on. And
the old man went wandering.
Oh, my gosh.
It's hard to tell if I think there were kids over there.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
So Biden's handlers have taken now to disguising themselves,
I tell you,
as other beings on this planet, like the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
And here's what happened.
Oh, he's talking about Afghanistan. No.
Look at that. They hear him talking about Afghanistan to a group of people. And they're like, I'll bet you the Easter Bunny had something in her ear underneath her costume. Eagle One just went rogue. Eagle One, Joe, the president is talking Afghanistan. And so over went the Easter Bunny to get in his way and wave him off.
Yeah, so there's a wider angle here, if you can see. So there he is standing there, just blue to
Look at him. He's just so lost.
Right. Yeah. There is kids over there. Yeah, see, that's what happened. And they sped it up to make it look like he could walk fast, I'd like to point out. And then now the Easter Bunny comes over. Now watch this. Hey, bro.
Hey.
Now watch
Yeah,
this.
get
Watch
out of
this.
here.
Waving in front of his face.
Get
Yo,
out.
you, Joseph.
And then
Tries to play it
does
off.
it again,
Right.
like I know that's just something I do as the Easter Bunny.
Exactly. And
look at him. And look at him wander around.
He's lost.
And he's also mumbling. There's one angle where you can see him talking to himself. Hey, what the hell is going on here? I don't know what in the Sam hell. What in the Sam hell has happened?
Yeah, he had to.
I'm the president. Where am I?
It took him a moment. What? Somebody made this like a arch nemesis thing. Watch this. This is so fun.
Uh-oh. Look at the expression on his face.
I know. He's lost.
Completely. He is totally out to lunch, and he's not coming home for dinner.
No, sir. And so that turned out to be a staffer in the press office, Megan Hayes, tasked with the duty
Yeah, that was the thing yesterday all day long. Who's the Easter Bunny? Mm-hmm. Megan Hayes. And what is she? She's like the assistant to the assistant communications director or something.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
She's in the communications department.
Yeah, and that was her job.
So it literally is one of the president's people, one of their... You know, it's not like an intern, or it's not like, hey, we hired an Easter Bunny. No, that's somebody who has a fairly decent position in the White House. And they put him in the Easter Bunny suit so that she could direct the president around the crowd when he got in trouble. That is...
So
what a national embarrassment this is.
Completely. People were pointing out that Joe likes to say, you know, I'm the only president who's gone toe-to-toe with Vladimir Putin.
Oh, my gosh.
So they're surmising that maybe we send the Easter Bunny over to Ukraine because apparently the Easter Bunny, it's kind of like college football, right? If the Easter Bunny can defeat Joe,
then Joe can defeat Putin,
then it shows that...
Then obviously the Easter Bunny could beat Putin. Okay, yeah.
But that waving of the arms in front of his face literally
amazing.
Snapped him out of it.
That is amazing.
Terrifying.
She is the White House director of message planning. Oh, okay.
She's the one screaming you can hear in the back whenever he goes off script and starts babbling about something or wanders over to kids. You can hear her in the back screaming. Yep.
And so somehow they believed at the White House that the optics of sending the Easter Bunny over to hustle him away from the crowd was better than the optics of him answering questions to people. You should have just left him alone, frankly. And he might have said something stupid about Afghanistan. So what? He was talking to just regular people, it looked like. I don't think were there reporters there?
So play that one more time and watch the guy in the trench coat. So I think the guy in the trench coat is actually assigned this duty, okay? But he gets intercepted by the First Lady, and that's when the Easter Bunny has to step in. Watch the guy in the tan coat. See him to the left? See him to the left? Watch him.
Okay, yes.
So now watch this. Now he's like, oh, crap. No, Joe. So he's making sure. Don't get any closer to the crowd.
Yeah,
wait. Oh.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Now pause it there for a second. I don't think any of those people are reporters.
No, that's families. You're right. Yeah,
and so I don't know why it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
If he's just started babbling about Afghanistan, who cares?
And it may not be
Let him
anything
do it
about,
for a minute.
And I'm not being facetious here. It may have nothing to do with the subject matter. Maybe no one within earshot heard the word Afghanistan. It may be the fact that he was... No. I mean, none of his handlers heard him say that. Yeah. It may have been because he was getting too close to kids. And they're like, okay, no. We don't need this optic. Okay.
And that's true, too.
Because there they are. There's several kids there.
They have so many things to worry about with this guy.
It's not worth it. Move on.
Right. Unreal. Yeah. You just wonder, what are they planning for 2024? Because they don't want him to run. They know, just as well as we do, he can't run in 2024. There's no way. There's zero chance of him being able to handle it, and there's no chance of him winning. I don't think. Unless, they do some kind of outrageous election fraud. So much so that it's finally noticed and we do something about it. But Democrats have to be at their wits' end thinking, what are we going to do? We don't want Kamala. I don't think she can win. We can't run Joe Biden, who the only person they have to turn to is Hillary Clinton.
Oh, not Al Gore?
Well, or Al Gore.
Nice. So it's been a year and a half since Election Day.
Mm-hmm.
The next Election Day is 2.5 years away.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the decline we've seen just in the year and a half, what it will be in another 2.5 years?
I still think he doesn't make the full term.
Yeah, I don't. I'm with you on that.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But he certainly can't run. Even if he does make the full term, they cannot let him run. So, I don't know how they handle that. They've got themselves a real mess here.
Now, you sent a video in. He did some story time, though, yesterday, right?
Yeah, this is great, too, because they once again, they told him. He'll tell you what they told him. Check this out. Reading to kids.
So I'm going to quickly read Brown Bear, so you're all not soaking wet.
And they're not going to let me read it all.
And he's pissed about it. Pause it for a second. You can tell he's actually pissed about that. They're not going to let me read it all. Bastards. And then he smiles like, I'm just kidding. No, I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I don't think. Watch it again because he's such a crotchety old man. I think he's really pissed about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
They won't let me read.
Brown Bear, so you're all not soaking wet.
And they're not going to let me read it all.
I'll let you read it. You can start us off.
So she has to make a calculated risk here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
She says, okay, you
Brown
can
Bear, what do you see? I see a bird looking at me. Now you got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
Yellow duck.
Okay.
What do you see?
Thank
I
you,
see a
Mommy,
blue horse
for
looking
letting me
at
read.
Blue horse.
Unreal. I mean, yeah, there's the blue horse. Yeah.
That's good. So
Blue horse.
Blue horse payoff.
Is there a blue horse? Yeah, it's a children's book, Joe. That happens in children's books.
Honestly, they had to. They predetermined. They said, I don't trust him with a book for 5-year-olds.
Yeah, right.
Do you?
No, right.
And then when he makes a deal out of it,
Then
Jill's got to go.
Then Jill makes a calculated decision.
I'll let
All
you
right,
start us off.
read the first page, old man.
And then he throws the book at her. Did you catch that? He just It's like, here, you take it now. He is angry.
It is something else. What? Again, what a national embarrassment.
Yep.
You know, it's the greatest nation in the history of the world, run by this guy. Unreal. Just really sad. All right, let me tell you about something that's not sad, that's actually fantastic. Just because it's spring doesn't mean you have to spend all your time hunting for eggs. The right pair of underwear puts all your eggs in one basket and keeps them there. That's Tommy John's hammock pouch underwear. When you're wearing Tommy John's hammock pouch underwear, you're that much more comfortable, so you can do everything better. It's not the truth. When you're comfortable, you just feel better, so you do everything better. And this stuff is the most comfortable underwear you will ever have. It doesn't ride up, and it, like they said, keeps everything where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it does.
Dozens of comfort innovations. Once you've tried Tommy John underwear, you're never going back to anything else. Innovations like an air mesh interior hammock, moisture wicking fabric with 4 times the stretch of competing brands. Plus, the legs never ride up. None of that kind of stuff. That's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics. And I fully understand it because I'm one of them. It's awesome. With over 17 million pairs sold, men across America love their Tommy John underwear. And don't forget the loungewear, too, because it's really great. It's Tommy John's anniversary month. So whether you're trying them on for the first time or you're a longtime fan, get 25% off site-wide right now at TommyJohn.com/unleashed. Go to TommyJohn, JOHN, TommyJohn.com/unleashed today for 25% off. TommyJohn.com/unleashed. See the site for details.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Plus, yesterday he had some meandering economic report speech where he mentioned, this is an economic report, he mentioned gender 40 times more than inflation. He mentioned the word gender in his plan 127 times, while inflation was mentioned 87 times. Meanwhile, the report mentioned inequality 147 times and emissions nearly 100. Labor Department reported an 8.5% year-over-year increase in the Consumer Price Index. Don't worry about that, just 8.5%. So, at least it's not 40% yet. Biden opened his economic report with a brief letter praising his economic recovery plan following the COVID-19 pandemic, highlighting a stronger workforce as well as the reopening of the national economy. He speaks to guests during a visit to North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University on April 14th. So he said our nation needed an economic policy that was nimble enough to meet the significant and evolving challenges required to defeat a pandemic and recover from the severe economic disruptions it had caused. Recovery had to be swift and robust. It was not sufficient to return to where we had been. We had to build toward a better future. They have to build back better. Mm-hmm. The worldwide slogan now for what they're trying to do to us. And they just try to put a sugar coating on it. What they're trying to do is worldwide socialism. And we have to be awake to that. We have to fight against that every step of the way. Getting tougher for him because he is losing support from every single direction, except it seems like white women. I don't know why white women cling to this guy, but please stop. It's really bad. Hispanic voters are deserting him in major droves. His approval rating among Hispanics has plummeted as the historically Democratic bloc support for Republicans continues to increase, presenting an electoral problem for Democrats whose immigration policies have fueled much of his shift. I think Democrats have miscalculated the Hispanic voter and the Hispanic citizens so dramatically. They think that all Hispanics support people coming here illegally. That's just not the case, especially for those who are citizens and came here the right way. They resent people who sneak across the border and just try to get something for nothing. When they went through the hassle and the expense of actually doing it the right way and coming here legally. But get this, only 26% of Hispanic voters approve of Biden's job performance.
Whoa.
26%.
That's stunning.
Compared to 54% who disapprove. And that's a Quinnipiac poll. Perhaps most striking, the poll found a staggering 41% of Hispanic voters strongly disapprove of his handling of the presidency in general, while just 12% strongly approve. Wow. And of course, Hispanics are the second largest voting bloc by ethnicity. You would think, well, wait, there's a bigger voting bloc than that? Yeah, it's actually crackers.
Whoa.
Whitey. Mm-hmm. Caspers. Damn Caspers.
Man.
They're still the majority voters. Still in the majority.
Something about that?
We're trying to.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I just find it ironic that
trying to
for the last 30 years,
Democrats
have, like you said, looked at an open border policy as their meal ticket for the next several generations as far as power.
And it's not. It's just not. This downward trend has been going on for months. Biden comfortably won the Hispanic vote in 2020, 59% of the vote, according to the Pew Research Center. Since then, however, Hispanic support for the president has plummeted, hitting the 30s last year and now in the 20s.
Man, bye-bye.
Again, 26%. He's underwater by nearly 30 points with Hispanics. Jeez.
I like it.
I love it.
And you say white women are still supporting Joe?
Yes.
Bunch of Karens?
Yes. I don't understand it. You know what? We need to take the vote from them. You know, probably shouldn't have given it to him in the first place. So let's just take it back now.
Well, let's
Think that'd go okay? I think that'd be all right.
think this through.
Okay, think it through.
They've had the vote for 100 years.
Right.
Okay.
Are things better?
Have things
Worse?
right.
Or about the same?
Now, kudos to women. The first time they had the vote for a presidential election, they gave us Harding and Coolidge.
Yes.
But
since then,
downhill
the record's not good.
for the most part.
Okay?
Since then.
The record is just not good.
Ladies,
Shape up, white women.
right? Ladies, look, we gave you the vote. Use it wisely.
Right. And they're not.
Don't make us take it back from you.
Don't make us come back there and give you something to cry about. We will. We'll do it.
Huh.
Take the vote right from you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Yesterday, I teased a story about Brian Stelter. I don't know that we ever paid that off, actually. But Brian Stelter is rumored to be in real trouble at CNN. You know, CNN was purchased by Discovery. So there's a new kid in town that's running CNN. Jeff Zucker left some time ago. What's that been, about 6 months now? And so all the people he was protecting are not being protected anymore. And some common sense may just filter down to the management at CNN now. They're talking about, according to one insider, Brian Stelter and his days at CNN are numbered. They're about to fire him, apparently. I mean, that's the big rumor. And, you know, he doesn't have great ratings. And he's just what they called an embarrassment to the network. So he may be on his way out.
Yeah, and Stelter had some tweet going after Tucker Carlson yesterday. I forgot what it was. He said something like, I don't know, sowing discord or something. And so Jack Dorsey replied under Stelter's tweet and said, but you're uniting us or something like that. It was something like, it was so weird that Jack Dorsey was calling out
The
a
former
CNN host.
CEO of Twitter.
Right.
Huh.
I'm trying to find the
That's interesting.
Yeah, the tweet. Here we go. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Let me click around here. So Stelter tweets out about he goes, Tucker Carlson is always selling the same thing. He's selling doubt. Jack Dorsey says, and you all are selling hope.
Wow.
And so
Nice.
You're right. And then there's another story yesterday about Jack Dorsey says he saw CNN create conflict on the streets of Ferguson and then film it. I don't know what's gotten into Jack Dorsey, but somebody hacked his account.
Wow.
Something's up.
Huh. Maybe now that he's out of the Twitter building, he has a chance to look around and, you know, see reality for what
Yeah, and maybe
it really
now that
is.
he sees how a guy who should be CEO, who should be in charge, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is okay to speak out.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So veteran media reporter John Nicosia says Brian Stelter's days are numbered with the network. Discovery Management is very much considers him a Zucker henchman and embarrassment.
Wow.
And believes he's a negative partisan lightning rod and a distraction going forward. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and he was, again, yesterday trying to go after Peter Doocy.
Yeah, what is this thing he has with Doocy being given questions to ask?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Well,
Don't we have time. It's only
okay,
18 seconds.
okay.
It certainly is going to cause a lot of outrage from Fox, probably for the next few days, right? Basically, Fox is saying, hey, we don't provide him questions. He comes up with it himself, so they're defending his honor. I think Jen Psaki's kind of like, remember in senior year, spring of your senior year, you're about to graduate, and you're just tired of all this? I think we're seeing that from Jen Psaki.
You know what I think? I think you don't know what you're talking about. He has no idea if people are providing him with questions, and even if they are, so what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you're going to hear, it's not that big a deal, and it's not that unusual.
He can't let this go. It's so weird.
Bizarre. Yeah. We'll get to that and much more coming up on Pat Gray Unleashed. Don't forget our fairly new overtime segment that drops every day around 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. All you do is go to blazetv.com/Pat. And the keyword, as we told you, More overtime came to an end.
You mean More Unleashed?
More Unleashed, yeah, that's what it was. More Unleashed came to an end. However, you can still save $10 when you use the promo code PAT.
Oh, wow.
PAT, just the one T.
Look at
I don't waste consonants like Glenn does. So save $10 when you use the promo code PAT, only at blazetv.com/PAT.
that. Glad the message got to Rob that there's a new code.
Yeah. And it did filter down to us eventually. All right, we got some tweets here. Smackwater Jack tweets, brown bear. Who is the crotchety, demented old man with plugs in his hair? Yellow duck. With this president, we sure are stuck.
Oh, nice. You don't get a blue horse, though, in that one.
No. The Steve42 tweets, the Easter Bunny has been promoted to the czar of information in the official Department of Truth. Okay.
Oh.
And from Rowdy Introvert, Stelter's an embarrassment to the CNN network. Must be a fine line between embarrassment and mascot. Yes, indeed.
He is both.
And we weren't done with him because he is really hammering this. Peter Doocy gets questions given to him by Fox employees. Even if that's true, still takes the giblets of a real person to ask those questions because they're not easy to ask.
And this is just kind of left over from the Jen Psaki thing where she was just like, she was asked, do you want to call him is he a stupid SOB? And she just offhandedly said, I just think he works for a network where they give him questions and makes him sound like
a stupid SOB.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that was essentially it.
And so Brian Stelter is like taking that
and just running with it. Jeez. And he's stunned by a Chicago Sun-Times reporter who said it wouldn't be, that unusual, even if, again, Doocy is getting the questions from somebody else.
She was forgetting what her real job is, which is to communicate on behalf of the president. One other quick thing. It's not a negative to consult your colleagues on what question to ask.
Oh.
Right.
Right. He just got taken to task, and I'm sure he's stunned by that. Right. Okay.
Didn't get what he wanted.
He didn't.
Didn't get what he wanted.
That's so great.
Shannon Bream, who's awesome. And in fact, she's going to be a guest on my podcast in a couple of weeks at the mic. And she's such a great person. But she has her own podcast where she interviewed Peter Doocy. And I remember listening to it, and it just kind of occurred to me right now. Peter talks about his day where he wakes up, he reads the news, and he tries to come up with a question that other people aren't going to ask.
Okay.
So he doesn't even bother asking other people. Amazingly, Peter Doocy is talented and smart enough to figure out what he wants to ask on his own. That just occurred to me.
And apparently, that baffles Brian Stelter beyond belief. Because he's probably fed every stupid question his fat face has to ask.
He can't imagine somebody else can actually handle every aspect of a job.
And some seriously tough questions. Because even if somebody is giving you those questions, it's tough to ask them.
Yeah.
When you've got a hostile crowd every single day, everybody around you is hostile to your point of view. And the person you're asking the question of is really hostile toward you.
Well, Peter.
They don't even want to talk to you. They don't want you in the room. And so they're going to condescend every single time. They're going to act like you're a moron every single time. She's going to dodge every question you ask. And you know that going in. And yet he still does it. So.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
And that was the actual comment directed toward Peter Doocy.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that, Mr. President. Things are apparently not going well in China as far as the COVID-19 situation is going. They've got 25 million people in Shanghai that are in lockdown. And so they've really cracked down on people out in the streets when they're not supposed to be. Here's what they call Big White marching down the street. You'll see why they call them that, I think, because they're all dressed in white.
Oh, is that what it is?
Did you get that? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like racial.
No.
Oh.
That's not.
No?
It's not.
Okay. Everything else is, so. There
Now,
they are.
why are those outfits all white? I don't know. They could be brown. They could be tan.
Well, they're
they could be
hazmat
red.
suits, you know?
Yeah, but they could be different colors. You
okay.
You could paint them different colors.
Yeah, what
dye them.
makes them all settle on that color?
I don't know.
Huh.
That's a huge... I mean, why the march of the big white?
Yeah, they're coming to town. They're coming to do
Kinda
some
weird.
beatdowns because that's what they do.
Jeez.
They are bad people inside those suits.
What? How do you know that? How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because I've been watching the videos.
Oh, okay. Just because you've seen their actions.
Yeah, well...
You're going to call them out on it.
Now, this next video, they're taking the people out in the street.
These are people who are not complying with the prevention policy.
You got to go to re-education class. You're just lucky it's in the street and not in a camp yet. Yeah, see, there they are, getting their education. Social distance, of course.
Of course. And they are nicely socially distanced.
That's good.
That's great. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Wait.
But here's a bunch of big white people coming...
Carrying guns.
Carrying guns.
Let's see. What do we got here?
These are not the white people we're speaking of. There we go. Okay. There's the big white armed.
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that they're being vicious or brutal or violent.
Oh, you want to see video of them dragging somebody away?
Oh, I doubt you could show me one.
Okay, let's see.
Come on now.
Literally dragging this guy away. Because when you test positive, you get to go for a ride.
Wow.
This is bad stuff.
So, do they just randomly come up to people who are on the street and test them?
No, they go inside there because they're all on lockdown in their apartments. This is out front there, and then you got to go down and test out front of your apartment complex. Which, by the way, terrible fact. If you have anyone in your household test positive for COVID there in Shanghai, Big White comes in and literally beats your pets to death with sticks. I stumbled upon many such videos that I will never forget. So you can use your imagination, but that is what's happening in Shanghai right now. You test positive, your pet gets beaten until it's dead. I don't want to be like China.
Wow.
On anything.
I guess they're assuming your pet might be carrying it, and so they want to eliminate the pet.
It is insane what's happening in Shanghai right now.
Really ugly.
And
really ugly.
That's the animals. They're not treating the people much better.
Yeah, here's an example of that.
Here they are, just beating the snot out of somebody who doesn't want to go away to a camp they'll never return from. We've heard stories.
Chasing him and beating him.
Yep.
Throwing him to the ground. Beating him some more. Jeez.
Now, some citizens are fighting back.
Well, I would.
Yep.
I would. I'd probably be killed, but yeah. I'm not going to just stand there and take that from them.
Yep. So here we go. Big White doesn't have safety in numbers, but they do have sticks. Look at that, dude. Those sticks, I swear, are everywhere.
Ooh. Oh, the guy's trying to take it from him.
Yep.
And then he gets ganged up on. And then beaten some more.
Now, I like the idea this guy in the back left has here. He sees the only thing available to him, which is a fence laying down, and he goes and picks it up. And he's like, you know what?
I'm going to use the fence.
Huh. And so they're headed over there, and then...
somebody took it from him.
They talk him down. They're like...
Yeah, I'm going to use the fence, and I'm going to bash him with it. And then his friend comes over and is like, no.
Let's think this through.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. You know, if you want to continue on this planet.
Right. They're not beating you presently.
Jeez.
You carry that fence over there. But I'm telling you,
this is part of their
ugly.
zero COVID policy, though.
Ugly.
Nobody's going to get COVID. And if you do, then you're going to have to go somewhere else. Period.
Where you will probably catch something.
Yeah, who knows?
Worse. Because
who knows what kind of medical care they're getting? Who knows if they're even treating them?
No, it's...
Who knows if they're not
Horrific.
You know, when the Soviets used to say, we're sending you to Siberia, that meant you're going to be killed. So who knows if they're doing that? I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past communist Chinese. Wow. So this is fun. We got this
I like it.
story that
This guy, this big white, rolling along with his little wagon. Look at him. He got his little supplies so he can go beat people up. And
oh boy. Oh, good golly.
Sucks for you. Kind of want to see that again.
Whoop,
no.
Oopsie daisies. Oh, golly.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
That's good stuff right there. You just remember that. Okay. How many times did you loop this, Rob? Like 4 dozen? Okay.
I guess we're bad people that we get pleasure out of that because.
No.
But when you see him beating people like that, hard to feel sorry that he took a nosedive.
Yeah.
I love Chinese people too, but come on.
Right, exactly.
I like the video of the old woman who refuses to be tested.
The one who lives in a shoe?
Oh, does she?
Yeah, the old woman.
It's the same chick?
Same chick. Yeah.
I had no idea. So the old woman who lives in a shoe refuses to be tested. Look at this. I got my own stick. Back off.
Johnny!
Oh, boy. So he's calling for help because she has a stick, too.
I think
so
he's just
now it's stick on stick.
I don't know that he's calling for help so much as he is fixing his mask that she just bumped. Watch this.
Johnny!
Here we go. Oh. You're not testing me either. I'm with her.
That's exactly what she said. You're not testing me.
Yep. But why'd she say it like that, though?
I don't know. I don't know why she said it in gibberish. I don't know why. But
there you go. You're not
There you
testing
go.
me for multiple reasons, and I think the foremost is that I'm not risking you beating my animals to death.
yeah, isn't it interesting? As bad as we think we have it,
Yeah.
and we do. I mean, things have, from the way they're supposed to be to where they are now, it is shockingly bad for Americans. But it's not that. We're still far and away the greatest country on this earth. And we still haven't gotten completely out of control. That's pretty ugly. What they're doing with this big white group is pretty darn ugly.
Well,
but what are they going to do?
Maybe they'll overplay their hand, and maybe we'll have
maybe there'll be some
a big change in China.
revolting. Mm-hmm.
I would like to
Time
see.
for another revolution that frees the people. That would be nice. Let me tell you about ScoreMaster. There's something called the 3-week rule in financial terms. What is it? Well, you wait 3 weeks before you make a big purchase, like a new car or a home mortgage or really any major purchase. Why would you wait 3 weeks? Because that's how fast the average ScoreMaster user takes to boost his or her credit score by an average of 61 points. 61 points in just 3 weeks. And listen, that could save you tens of thousands of dollars on whatever you're trying to finance. ScoreMaster technology was developed by credit data scientists to boost your credit score higher and faster than you thought possible. ScoreMaster is so easy, it only takes about a minute to get started, and you don't have to wait months for your best credit score. Try ScoreMaster for free. They'll show you how many plus points you can add to your credit score. Go to ScoreMaster.com/Pat. That's ScoreMaster.com/Pat.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
Yeah, okay, with China in mind, now let's go back to the Easter Bunny and Joe Biden. Let's see what that looked like.
Okay.
And then we'll compare.
Oh, no.
Really, who has it worse? There's the old man now. There's people over here. I'm going to kind of saunter over and start talking about Afghanistan. What a great job I did. Wait, what? Whoa! Wait, who are you? What do you mean? Look at that. And the Easter Bunny has to guide and direct him. So he starts sauntering around. I Where am I? Wow.
You think he'll go back there later? Well, he'll probably forget. Never mind.
Yeah. So which is worse? I still say, okay, we got a ways to go. And sometimes we take our blessings for granted. This still is the best country on earth.
Oh, without question.
In the history of the world.
I am curious, though, of the musical selection for Easter.
What was it?
Are we playing It Takes Two in the background? Can you play that one more time? And
really?
I didn't notice that. You might want to crank that up there. Just play that back. Okay, so there's no audio. And then now listen.
Is it?
It takes two to make things go right.
It takes two to make things go right.
It takes two to make it out of sight. Happy Easter.
Huh.
Weird, right?
Yeah, very.
Okay.
Yeah, very.
Sorry, I pick up on those things.
But that's Biden's White House.
Biden's White House.
Strange. You wouldn't want to play something, I don't know.
Easterish,
religious-y,
no.
Sort of Jesus-related. You wouldn't want to do that. Because all you're talking about is, Easter bunnies and stuff and the eggs. That's all Easter's about,
and how
right?
It takes two to make everything go right.
That's right. That's right. It takes Joe and Jill. That's what it takes to make a thing go right. Right?
Yeah. And out of sight. Yeah.
Again, embarrassing, but at least they're not beating people in the streets because they have COVID-19.
Give it time, Pat.
Yeah, I know. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Got some tweets. Jeffy's meat sweats tweets. It's ironic when a CNN personality is reading a producer's words from a teleprompter, then is weeping about another network asking questions that could be from a network producer. From Idaho Cougar fan. Just because Big White beats people and the pets doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people. It's a George W. Bush thing. Just because Big White beats people and their pets and kills them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people.
Uh-huh.
Let me make it very clear.
Okay.
Poor people aren't necessarily killers. Just because you happen to be
poor,
not rich doesn't mean you're willing to kill.
Right.
Wow. He had a way with words.
And there's one of the Big White taking a nosedive on his Segway.
Good.
I thought the Segways weren't supposed to tip over.
Yeah, I don't know how
wasn't that one of the big selling points?
That would happen with me, though. That would be me.
But at least he's using the invention that was going to change life as we know it. The very fabric of civilization was going to be different after the Segway came to be.
Now, if he tore his hazmat suit there.
Yeah, then he's probably dead by now.
They probably beat him.
Probably died, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have to beat him to death because the COVID-19 was going to kill him almost instantly.
Oh, so in other words, he skins his knee.
Yeah, it's like when your spacesuit tears on Mars.
There it is.
Same deal.
Yeah, total recall.
Same deal.
Mm-hmm.
Proud Mr. Graybeard tweets, I believe there's something far different and sinister than a virus happening in China. This is breaking people of their growing ideas that freedom and personal will. That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. S tweets, I thought Big White was Jeffy's CB handle. Copyright infringement.
From non-Big White. Come back.
From Pastor Sam. See, one of our problems with the greatest nation on earth, in the world argument is that it's in comparison to the other countries.
Mm-hmm.
How about comparing us now with us at our founding? Yeah, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see that Colin Kaepernick is again claiming he really wants to play in the NFL right now? And he's willing to do virtually anything to get there. He's willing to get, all I need is a chance, is an opportunity. Just let me in the door. Let me get my foot in. I'm even willing for a time to be a backup quarterback.
For a time?
For a time. That's what he said. But when you see that I'm the best quarterback on the team, then I demand the starting position. And then he said, I've always been told the NFL's a meritocracy. Well, yeah, first of all, I don't think in general Colin Kaepernick believes in meritocracies. But the reason he was booted out of the league in the first place or left the league was because of the merits of the other quarterbacks around him who were starting and he wasn't, and he got pissed and he left.
So let's assume he hasn't played in, what, 4 years now? 3 years, something like that?
No, it's 2016, I think.
Okay, so, all right, how about this? Colin Kaepernick, just assume he's as good as he was when he left. Do you think he's better than Marcus Mariota is today?
No.
Okay, so
I don't.
If he tries to play for the Falcons, Marcus Mariota is now there.
Who would you rather have? Because you're the Falcons fan. Mariota?
I don't want Colin Kaepernick, water boy.
And yeah,
in other words, part of me is terrified that because the Falcons, my team, really have no quarterback unless you consider Marcus Mariota. Ooh, he's our QB1. But other part of me is like, there's no risk here. He doesn't want to play. He's not going to play.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick does not want to play football. He's having too much fun making money being a distraction.
So let's see when he left. It was March 2017. So he hasn't played since the 2016 season. 6 years.
Wow.
My gosh. Now he's 34. And you think you're going to jump in after 6 years and eventually start in the NFL? Kind of doubt it. But he thinks he can. He said, just, base your decision on my talent.
Here's his QB ratings every year. 69.5, 71.
69.
Yeah, so I'll just go through the numbers here.
All right.
69, 71, 67, 60, 43, 49.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's worse than I thought.
Yeah, me too.
That's really bad.
I kind of want to find
wow,
Marcus Mariota's stats now.
They got to be better than that.
Well,
that is something else.
I guess our internet is now.
But he thinks a lot of himself still. I'm kind of surprised he is pushing the issue because I really assumed he didn't want a job in the NFL.
Yeah. So what was that? So his average quarterback rating, it
didn't average it.
Didn't average it. Okay, well, here's Marcus Mariota. Let's see if the numbers sound similar. 56, 83, 92, 92, 79, 95, 91, 90.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers compared to Kaepernick.
Yeah. So
Come on.
The others were hovering around 50s or 60s or something. Yeah.
Yeah, really amazing.
Awesome.
That is amazing. All right, 888-900-3393. As long as we're talking about something a little bit lighter, have you seen the new Thor trailer yet? It's like a teaser trailer. I think it comes out this summer.
Oh wow.
Maybe July.
I didn't know there was a trailer out.
Yeah. Are you a Thor fan? Do you like the
I love all
Marvel?
the Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I like them.
July 8th.
July 8th, and here's a little teaser for you. Oh, he just grew into a man.
For battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful.
I need to figure out exactly who I am.
Yeah, he needs to figure out who he is. There he is, fat, like he was in the last movie.
I love Fat Thor.
But he's working out. Oh, and he looks good. He's back in shape, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
My superheroing days are over.
Superheroing days are over. Not every god has a plan.
Remember what I told you? You ever feel lost? Just look into the eyes of the people that you love.
Okay. All right.
Me? What? Just listening.
You got to insinuate gayness there, right? Otherwise, you're in trouble with the LGBTQIA2+. And look at this! Oh, the handoff of the Thor hammer to a woman, Natalie Portman, the next Thor. So, His opening line is something like, "These hands that have been used for war are now going to be used for peace." Is he going to join the Peace Corps? Is that what he's doing in this movie? Is he leaving to go save the whales? Is he heading out with Beto O'Rourke on a journey to find himself? Remember that little trip that Beto took? Thor's on that same path now. We're going to see him at a Whataburger, skating around with teenagers and stuff, buying burgers for people.
Thor Kerouac is going to take a little journey.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
Rob, do you have the logo there? Was it frozen or did I just see it on my laptop? I can't remember if it was on the screen or the laptop, but total ripoff of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I'd like to point out with your. Hey, look at that. See, look at that. Go back. You see that? The little Thor? That was He-Man.
Do that one more time. That went by too quick. Yeah, there it is.
Huh.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
In the Masters of the Universe.
Bizarre. It's just bizarre. Plus, there's the obligatory gay reference. You have to have that. You have to have the transition from a man to a woman. With Thor retiring, apparently Natalie Portman is the new Thor. If Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel ever retire, could you replace them with a man, or would there be an absolute outrage uproar over that? Just agonizing.
Yeah.
The political correctness is just too much. And it's even, it is really sunk into Marvel, which of course I guess you would figure because they're owned by Disney. But the best part of that trailer is the Guns N' Roses Sweet Child of Mine music in the background. That makes for a really good commercial.
Yeah, I
kind of surprised.
Appreciated that.
GNR let him use it. Also, speaking of all of this nonsense,
right?
Alyssa Milano has inserted herself into the discussion again. She has no shortage, of course, of questionable tweets that have been widely panned. She uncorked another one on Twitter that was thoroughly trounced by many. The Who's the Boss actress ticked off a generous number of Twitter users this weekend by claiming that fathers telling their sons to, quote, take care of your mother is misogynistic. Okay. Now, why is she on that anyway?
Yeah, did she hear somebody say that?
Right.
And offended her? Or?
Is she married? I think she is. Did her husband say it to one of his kids?
I don't know.
What a bizarre thing to start babbling about.
Can you imagine? So the husband goes on like a business trip or something. And he's like, all right, you take care of your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she just...
And then she goes off.
She'll probably block the doorway. Excuse me? What did you just say to our son?
Last Thursday night, she tweeted, can we stop saying to our sons things like, take care of your mother while I'm gone? This is insinuating that the woman can't take care of ourselves. And it's bullcrap. She used another word. Twitter reactions to Milano's tweet flew in fast and furious. Many commentators only saw positives in dads telling their sons to take care of their mom and not let anything bad happen to the matriarch, while at the same time others believed that the actress was fishing for attention. Yeah, you think? Adam Baldwin said, this isn't Alec, but Adam, his brother, the only thing it might insinuate to women who can actually take care of themselves is a fatherly sense of familial love and duty, encouraged to sons staying behind on the home front while dad's away. Regular, healthy women aren't offended by this. What a great point. Regular, healthy women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's your key. Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring replied, we basically have. Look what it's gotten us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Reporter Ilhan Mastrangelo tweeted, no, boys need to become men. Actor Nick Searcy questioned, imagine being married to someone who hates men this much.
Yeah.
No kidding. Author Chad Felix Green snarked, run out of things to be outraged over, huh?
No kidding. Yeah.
Really true.
So she has I'm doing the math here. Warning. 10-year-old son.
Okay.
So I have a theory. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the dad, her husband, actually said that to him. And he didn't say it because she's a woman. He said it because she's Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
And she can't take care of herself.
She's stark raving mad.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with gender or women taking care of themselves. I think it's Alyssa Milano is incapable of that.
Yeah.
That's my working theory, Pat.
He should tell the chief of staff at a mental institution to take care of her, because that's where she freaking belongs.
Yep.
I'm so tired of Alyssa Milano and all the rest of the Hollywood idiots sounding off all the time. Just keep it to yourself. Keep it to your inside voice, if you would. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you're a dog owner, you know how much your dog means to you. It's kind of hard to explain until you have one and they become that important part of your family. You just really consider them part of the family. That's why I've been telling you about Rough Greens for all these years, because you're really going to take good care of your dog when you sprinkle this on their dog food. This is a dog food supplement that puts back into your dog's food all the vitamins and minerals and probiotics and antioxidants that have been baked out of it in the sterilization process, so that it, the big kibble dog food in the great big bags, those have to last up to 3 years on the grocery store shelves. So it's really sterilized. Well, Rough Greens takes care of that and puts back into the food all the living ingredients. Most dogs love this stuff right away. Mine certainly did. But you want to make sure yours is going to love it as well before you really commit to buying a bunch of it. So Rough Greens is going to send you a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out for a couple of days. Just take care of the shipping. They do all the rest. Just go to roughgreens.com or call 833-783-3364.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
A couple of tweets. Swank Think tweets, I'm not going to be happy until all Marvel superheroes are women. Preferably women with man units, but any women will do. Also, at least 70% must be BIPOC.
Oh, wow.
Good. That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they have to truly be BIPOC, too. Or lesbian, gay, whatever. Senile Brandon tweets, why isn't Wonder Woman being played by a dude in a dress? From Joe McKinley, FL, the next Wonder Woman is already in place. Leah Thomas. Oh, the swimmer. Yeah, who's winning all those championships against other women.
You got to mix in a scene where Leah Thomas has to swim to save the day.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great, though. I would love to see it. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't everybody? That kind of diversity is what we should be going for here. Doesn't matter if she's good in the role. Let's just make it diverse. Chris Laframois tweets, notice the Thor trailer used a song track from a band that has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, does that hurt, dude?
That hurts.
That wasn't cool.
So Guns N' Roses is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Foreigner is not. All right. Whatever.
Should I vet that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's true.
Yeah.
Because Guns N' Roses, it's okay to like them if you're, say, the editor at Rolling Stone. For some reason. You can like them, but not Foreigner.
Yeah.
I guess they're more true rock people, or maybe they're liberal enough. I don't know. I don't know the criteria. But they're in there, right?
Yeah, congrats to them.
Yeah. Yes. What year does it say?
2012.
Okay.
Wow.
Good solid 10 years ago.
That must have been right out of the gate for them, right? When they
pretty
were
close, yeah. Yeah, right when they were eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Brazile and Chris Christie got into it over the weekend when they started talking on is this on Fox? No, it's this week on ABC. They were talking about the surge in crime throughout the country.
Oh.
Is the only policy that the Republicans enforce. Joe Biden has never been someone who has called for defund the police, nor has any Democrat. Any Democrat. You look at Democrats
Wait,
running
what?
across the country. No, you take one or two isolated cases and you try to make it bigger than what it is. Look, I talk to Democrats like you talk to Republicans. I don't hear Democratic governors. I don't hear Democratic mayors. I don't hear Democratic officials. No,
Not anymore. Go back to 2019 and 2020.
No,
It's a different story then.
No, I didn't hear it. You know what I heard? I heard that they wanted to train police officers. They wanted to improve community relations with the police.
No.
That's what they were talking about.
And let me tell you, Republicans did that.
And when you saw what happened just recently in Grand Rapids, Michigan, you understand why Democrats came up with those positions. But at the same time, from Joe Biden on down, Democrats have had one position. We got to eradicate crime in America.
Wow. Were you living in a cave? How is it possible that you don't know all of the people who are talking about defunding the police?
But she said there are. Well, first she said no Democrat, and then she said you're just pointing out isolated incidents.
It's isolated incidents like Ilhan Omar, who on June 9th, 2020, tweeted out that the defund the police movement is one of reimagining the current police system to build an entity that does not violate us while relocating funds to invest in community services.
Okay, but that's Ilhan Omar's one congresswoman, right?
No. Ayanna Pressley. The defund movement isn't new. Folks are just finally listening. We got money for wars, but can't feed the poor.
Oh, that rhymes. Good job on
a little
one.
Poetic there.
Yeah.
From Kirsten Gillibrand. I believe we need to protect families who need help, and ICE isn't doing that. It's become a deportation force. We need to separate immigration issues from criminal justice. We need to abolish ICE, start over, and build something that actually works. Okay? So that's not just defund the police, but defund ICE.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of people were calling for the elimination of ICE altogether. Instead of spending, this is from Bernie Sanders, instead of spending $80 billion a year on jails and incarceration, we need to be investing in more jobs and education. One thing is abundantly clear. Every police department violating people's civil rights must be stripped of federal funding, period. Okay?
Sounds like defund to me.
Yep. Rashida Tlaib. When we say defund the police, what we mean is people are dying and we need to invest in people's livelihoods instead.
All right, so you got 3 representatives and 2 senators.
Okay, yes. So 4 people so far. These are Democrats, all. Now, her point was no Democrat called for defunding the police. For those who think spending more on policing works, look at St. Louis. We spend more per capita on police than 85% of police departments, yet 68% of violent crimes go unsolved. And police kill us at the highest rate in the nation. This is from Corey Bush.
Okay, so you got 4 representatives and 2 senators, but it's nobody saying this.
Right. Okay. Her final point was police don't need more money, our communities do. Then you got more from Corey Bush.
Oh, she's good.
Defunding the police isn't radical, it's real.
Okay.
Just keeping it real all up in here, yo.
Okay.
Too many police, Jamal Bowman, too many police in our country are more concerned with protecting white supremacy than serving the communities that pay their salaries. How true, isn't that?
So he's a congressman.
Yeah.
What are we up to? 5,
Okay,
6,
6.
9er?
Yeah. From Jamal Bowman. An accidental discharge that kills someone has another name, manslaughter.
Ooh.
We don't need police with lethal weapons carrying out routine traffic stops. Reallocate police funding to unarmed traffic forces to remove even the possibility of state-sanctioned manslaughter.
Unarmed traffic force.
Then we have Representative Katie Porter. Roughly 1 in 4 fatal police encounters end the life of someone with mental illness. So it's no surprise that this program is saving lives, sending healthcare professionals, not police, when someone is experiencing a mental health crisis makes our communities safer for all.
That's my favorite one there. The social worker comes to diffuse a situation and domestic violence or something like that.
Right.
That'll be helpful.
That would really go well, I think.
But again, to Donna Brazil's point, nobody's calling for that.
Nobody. Stop it. Okay, quite a few people were, and including Joe Biden didn't exactly support the police during that time period, if you remember correctly, and neither did Kamala Harris. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray returns.
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Told you we had more on Ilhan Omar. She was, of course, one of the people speaking out about defunding the police. According to Donna Brazil, no Democrats ever said defund the police. Come on. Jeez, what terrible memories. What terrible liars they are. She knows full well. Many Democrats were promoting defunding the police. It was a big movement for a while. And then they found out the American people hated that movement, disagreed with that movement very strongly, and then they all had to backtrack.
Especially when crime surged in large American cities after these policies were implemented.
Yeah, you had the dead bodies piling up, and they had to change their tune very quickly. So Ilhan Omar faced criticism over the weekend regarding a tweet about Christians who were singing worship music during a flight.
On Easter of all days.
How dare you? How dare you sing? How dare you? This is so weird. We don't know the exact details of the flight, like where they were going, what they were doing, when it happened. The itinerary's not really clear there. But she says, well, first, let me show you what happened, and then we'll tell you her words.
Wow, they're singing a hymn.
They're singing like a Jesus song.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait a minute. Where are the masks? This is before the thing was dropped.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
She said, I think my family and I should have a prayer session next time I'm on a plane. It's because she's Muslim. And
I see.
Of course, Americans would go apoplectic over that.
Of course they would.
Of course. We couldn't have you praying as a Muslim. That would be awful. And we'd probably throw you out of the plane.
I don't.
So she says, how do you think it will end? Well, first of all, was she even on this flight?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
know if she's just commenting on the video. She's not even on the flight.
Yeah, she's just starting stuff and getting put in her place.
And yes, the first thing you notice, other than the guy standing in the aisle with a guitar, is that no one on the flight has a mask. So it's obviously a chartered flight. Okay, so a bunch of Christians chartered a flight to somewhere, and on the way home, perhaps on Easter,
I bet you're right. I bet
they're singing a song. That's a chartered flight. You can't carry. Have you ever seen anybody carry on a guitar? I have not. It's a little big and bulky.
So she's starting stuff.
Yeah.
And she's putting her place. And people push back on her. Bizarre. And by the way, Elon, okay, if people actually did push back on you and your family praying, let's say loudly or something on a flight.
Yeah, there might be a reason to be concerned.
Well, there might be a reason to be concerned, but there also might be repercussions for the people that would object, as we've learned. Don't you dare have an issue with anybody like that. No, right. Oh my gosh, you're a bigot if so.
Despite the fact that, there is a profile for the people who did what they did on 9/11, right? It wasn't a group of Christians with a guitar on a flight, singing songs, praising Jesus. That's not what happened. So it doesn't really, you're kind of comparing apples to oranges there. And again, I don't think she was even on that flight. What are you worried about it for?
No, yeah, so
can't even
she said,
it.
I think my family and I should have a prayer session next time I am on a plane. Yeah. How do you think it will end? And I love Tim Young's response. It'll get weird since your brother is also your husband.
I love it.
Underrated tweet.
Very. No, that's a solid tweet right there.
Nice job, Tim.
So good. All right. 888-900-3393. 3393. You know what's starting to happen now? And we've been playing them as they kind of trickle out. There's some new video that we've been seeing from January 6th, the day democracy almost died, bruh.
Bruh. Yeah.
I think they left out the bruh for some reason. I don't know why. I think it cheapens it to leave bruh out of it, but whatever.
And the big sin that they were committing, what was it again?
The people.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. They're milling and parading.
Mm-hmm.
Milling and parading.
Some might say they're parading and milling, but either way, it's not appropriate.
No,
to be walking around.
Either way, it's killing democracy. Even as we watch it, democracy is slowly dying.
You can see it there.
Yeah, you can.
You're just fading away, man.
It's not good, Keith. It's not good. And it just keeps happening. So we've got new video now that shows police officers' actions during this particular time at one or two of the entrances. And it's kind of fascinating because police are involved, and nobody's beating them with poles or sticks or bear spray or anything. Watch what happened at this particular entrance in the Capitol building. January 6th, year of our Lord, 2021.
Hang on a second.
20.
It's loading.
21.
Commodore 64. Oh wait, that's not quite it.
That didn't look like.
Oh, that actually was a
Capitol
good
building.
video though. If you sign up for Pat Gray overtime, you hopefully will get that video today, right, Pat?
What?
The bird with the bird video
The
there.
following footage was obtained from the United States Department of Justice.
Okay,
It
check
contains
this out.
Surveillance video of the Upper West Terrace doors of the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021.
All right. Good. So we're going to see
Just
some.
after 2:33 p.m., police officers allow 5 individuals to exit the Capitol.
Cops got
through
the door
Upper
open
West
for 'em.
Terrace doors.
Oh, that's kind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Neighborly thing to do. Hold the door open.
Some people leaving. They don't seem to be soaked in blood or anything. Somebody else's blood it would have been.
At 2:34 p.m., a gentleman holding an American flag catches the door just as the last protester leaves.
Now we're going to see.
He turns to the crowd outside
the catastrophe
and waves towards the door.
Clearly a planned insurrection here.
Yeah.
At the same time, at 2:34 p.m., a gentleman with a red cap approaches the interior doors.
No.
As the police officer notices him, he continues to approach.
Okay.
The police officer holds the door for the protester as he enters the Capitol undeterred.
Well, that was polite.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hey, buddy, what's up? Oh, wait, you want to come too? Sure.
At 2:35 p.m., a large group enters the interior of the Capitol.
And this is a full minute later. All right, so you got
a steady stream of protesters.
Bunch more people
enter through the Upper West Terrace doors.
And look at
You can see
anger.
police officers.
Yeah, you can see
standing at
the hate.
interior doors, allowing people to pass.
Yeah. Hateful group of people.
You can almost hear them yelling Nancy Pelosi's name.
And Mike Pence.
And Pence.
We're going to hang you, Mike Pence. That's what they're yelling right now. We're going to hang you.
Oh, thanks for holding the door for me. I'm going to go get you.
And we're going to hang you high. Hello, officer. Good to see you today.
Thank you for your service. Seriously.
So nobody's been trampled or beaten or injured in any way so far, but I'm sure this is about to get really bloody.
The
Am I
only
right?
reason the cops don't hold the door there is because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd probably still be holding it. It's like, sure, yep. Oh,
Yeah,
now
come
he's
on.
opening it again. Look at that. Oh, wait, what's happening here?
Here we go. We're going to hear. There's police officers, okay, right there, going against the flow of the crowd, but everything's fine.
Yeah, I don't see any kind of resistance.
They're not trying to stop anybody from coming in.
Uh-huh.
Hi, everybody. Come on in.
Sure.
Around 250 protesters entered the Upper West Terrace doors that day.
Okay.
Many of which are charged with felony obstruction.
Should be
for
many of
entering
whom,
a building
but
undiscouraged.
whatever.
And where's the milling charge?
Yeah.
At 2:36 p.m., a police officer walks towards the exit.
Yeah.
Against the flow of protesters.
Okay.
No,
What's he doing?
No.
Kicking them out or moving a box so they can get in easier?
He then turns around and begins walking with the
protesters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He turned his back to them and never took a posture that was defensive or that would indicate that he feared being harmed. At 2:36:54, the police allow the crowd to pass.
All right. And then what? Then
at 2:38 p.m., a woman with a sock hat and a camera with a sound recording device attached to it films police as they allow people to enter.
Wait, what's a sock
Yeah,
hat?
but she's got a sock hat.
What is
a steady stream of individuals
It's a deadly
passed
lethal
by
weapon
police
of
as they
mass
stand
destruction,
aside
Keith.
without deterring protesters for several minutes.
Sock hat? I'm hung up on that. Sorry.
You can't even count the number of people that sock hats have killed. Too many to count. Nobody knows the real number.
Sock hat.
Nobody knows the real number.
That's always a tip-off.
Yeah.
Wait, I wear sock hats. Look at that. She's just standing there recording. Like, I'm going to stand here. And what's the problem? Nothing. Look at the cops. Just literally just.
Yeah. So if this is happening and you're in this crowd, you're thinking, well, this is okay. I'm not doing anything wrong because the police aren't doing anything about it. It must not be illegal. It must not be bad.
It's implied that we're welcome here.
Yes, it's implied that, I don't know, it's the people's house.
Police stopped the protesters to speak to them again.
Okay.
What are they saying?
At 2:44 p.m., a police officer in the bottom of the screen can be seen speaking to the officers in front of him and pulling them away, indicating to the crowd that they are allowed to enter. The officers then turn their backs to the crowd, which indicate that they did not possess fear of the protesters.
Right.
The officers then escort the crowd into the interior of the Capitol.
Wow. Look at that police escort. Nice. Oh.
Yeah, they're not fighting them off. They haven't brandished guns.
They're holding the door
They're holding the door open for them again.
Come on, guys.
So that they can stream into the Capitol building and begin milling and parading.
See, that's where trouble happens.
Somebody actually has a Trump-Pence sign, though. That's problematic, as you know.
Oh, that's a tip-off.
That means treason right there.
Yep.
At 2:47
Wait, what's
p.m.,
happening
police wearing yellow gear closed the doors.
Okay.
Police presence then increases and no more individuals enter through the Upper West Terrace doors.
Now, these cops are dressed differently. These aren't part of the nice cops that are holding the doors.
Those are the mean cops that close the door.
Thank you. I just meant that they're not the ones that are waving people in.
Right.
These are just like,
you know what? We're gonna shut the door now, and nobody disputes that. So, you know how tragic and catastrophic that was. I want to see all the rest of the footage. This should open up the floodgates. Show it all to us. And if you have really disturbing things happening, let's see them.
And a lot of this stuff is finally coming out because people are going to court, and after languishing for over a year in some cases in a jail cell, and some of them are, getting found guilty. And but in the meantime, we're getting footage like this released.
Now, Tara Price tweeted out this about January 6th. She tweeted the January 6th investigation is the largest federal investigation in U.S. history.
Wow.
And yet the median prison sentence for January 6th, the rioters, is 45 days.
What?
An additional 18 rioters have been sentenced to periods of home detention, while most penalties have included fines, community service, and probation for the low-level offenses like illegally parading or demonstrating in the Capitol, which is a misdemeanor.
Wait, where's the milling, Tara? Where's the milling charges?
Yeah, she didn't mention the milling.
Left that out.
If the FBI is bored, they should take a vacation instead of investing time and resources. That continues to cause further division among Americans over a misdemeanor that carries a 45-day jail sentence. The way the media portrays these people, you would think they'd be on death row. I guess if our government abandons American citizens in Afghanistan, it's par for the course that they would put so much effort into pushing the agenda and punishing these people.
So house arrest, community service, 45 days, those are the results of the largest federal government investigation ever. Okay.
I had not heard that this is the largest federal investigation in U.S. history.
She's a researcher here at the Blaze.
That is incredible.
That's
incredible.
Yeah.
Over milling. Well, and parading. Let's not forget that. The illegal parading had to stop. And so these people have to be brought to justice.
The most expansive federal law enforcement investigation in U.S. history.
My gosh. Did you doubt Tara?
No, it sounded like you did.
No, I did not.
So I wanted to
I just said I hadn't heard it.
I mean, she's a researcher for The Blaze. I thought I would Google it, and I found an ABC News story that says the same thing. So there you go. We got two accounts. Same fact.
That is absolutely amazing.
And it's grotesque. It's grotesque, the resources and not only what they're doing to these Americans who entered the Capitol building and the way the justice system has treated them, but the end result as to what is happening to the Capitol building and the grounds to Americans who would like to visit their nation's capital. I mean, with the security and the wall, because walls don't work, fences, they don't work, apparently only work in Washington, D.C., not along the southern border. It's sickening.
It's correct. That's correct. Largest federal investigation in U.S. history. Jeez. There were some shenanigans. There were some people who got violent and were hitting police with poles and sticks and things. Those people should absolutely be punished. But the vast majority of people that we have seen were doing nothing. They were just walking into the Capitol building, milling around, and walking out, that should not be a crime. I have no idea why, under normal business hours, you go into the Capitol building, walk around it, you don't break anything, you don't take anything, and then you walk out. That is ridiculous that people are being charged with crimes for doing that. Asinine. And that really should stop. But it's not going to.
And I just think
they're going to keep it going.
Right. It's okay. So we had the tweet earlier today that said, look, I think that what's happening in China is less to do about containing COVID than to break the spirit of the Chinese people who are starting to think, hey, maybe we could be free, And I think that's absolutely accurate. And I think it's the same thing here. I don't know that they really, at the end of the day, look at what the January 6th protesters did, generally speaking, and think that's horrible. We have got to, punishment has to fit the crime here, and we've got to go after these people. No, it's a larger message being sent to Americans that don't you dare push back on this government. How dare you?
Yeah.
Don't you enter the Capitol when we're doing our sacred work. Don't you dare push back on election results that you disagree with.
Right. Who do you think you are?
Right. You think you're Americans?
Asking us for audits of the election. Yeah. You just want to make sure everything was up front and that nothing was nefarious, that there's no fraud involved here, that, large boxes of ballots showed up at 3:00 in the morning. We just want to make sure there was nothing wrong with that. That's all. And we would just kind of like to know, why are big boxes of ballots being delivered at 3:00 in the morning? Why? Why is that happening? Those are decent questions, I think, that could be asked, but no, because you dare not challenge them. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We're coming up on Mother's Day here. What day is Mother's Day? Like May something. 15th. Is it?
Wait, I don't know. I got so much crap on my calendar over here. 8th. Niner. May 8th.
May 8th. Yeah. Okay, that's really soon. So if you want to give Mom a really fantastic gift for Mother's Day this year, may I suggest Keksi Cookies? Go to Keksi.com, Keksi.com. We've got this sugar lemon cookie, which I highly recommend. That is so delicious. The cherry almond. The spring flavors are all in for Mom, and so get her a dozen cookies for Mother's Day, and you will be the star of the family. Keksi.com to do that. All right. It's the video conferencing tool that soared in popularity during the pandemic. You know what it is? It's Zoom. Zoom kind of replaced, what was the other thing that everybody was using before Zoom?
Skype,
yes. Yeah. What happened
FaceTime.
there? That's amazing.
I had
FaceTime and Skype just went away.
I'd never heard of Zoom.
I'd neither.
Until a pandemic happened. So I bet if you could trace this back, you could probably find the CEO of Zoom was in Wuhan, China, late 2019. I'm just saying.
Something happened because it exploded.
Right?
It exploded.
Everyone was talking about it like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this on Zoom.
And look at, so thoroughly has the beating Zoom gave to Skype, I couldn't even remember the name of Skype right offhand.
Mm-hmm.
But lurking just beneath the surface of Zoom is a murky subculture that most people are unaware of. I don't think I was aware of the murky subculture. Are you? Of Zoom?
No, I'm not.
A Telegraph investigation has found that Zoom is being hijacked by pedophiles.
Oh, goody. What isn't being hijacked by pedophiles anymore?
Oh, my gosh.
Ugh.
They're apparently broadcasting child porn via its share screen function. Criminals are swapping code words with emojis in order to share and view illegal and disturbing content, including child and animal pornography.
Oh, my gosh. I guess I'm naive. I thought you had to have a link sent from, that would make sense, I guess, if pedophiles. But how are you getting... I have no idea what I'm talking about with Zoom.
I really don't either. I don't know the ins and outs of Zoom.
I've done like 3 Zoom calls in my life, and I got like an invite that I click on, and then there's that.
Right.
But I'm wondering, where does the initial contact happen between the pedophile and the child? That's
not
my question.
Sure.
So I have no idea.
Groups containing up to thousands of people communicate via Telegram to organize online sex, sharing links and passwords to Zoom, the teleconferencing platform. Once a link has been shared to a Zoom room.
Oh, there's rooms.
There's rooms.
Zoom room.
People can then interact as they please.
Man, you got to watch out what your kids are doing online.
Uh-huh.
Make sure the door to their bedroom is open. Make sure the computer's in a common area so they ain't hanging around in a Zoom room where something like this can happen.
All really good safety tips. Seriously. That should be the case for virtually every concerned parent. If you care at all about them viewing porn and getting involved with pedophiles and all that stuff, don't let them have the computer alone in their rooms.
And you know what? The monitor needs to face the open door.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Parental tips for you.
Yes, sir. However, the practice has been hijacked by pedophiles looking to share and view illegal material. There's currently no regulation and no prevention of illicit content being broadcast via Zoom's share screen function. Wow.
Don't like it.
People have used these networks to organize online sex parties for years, but the practice boomed during the pandemic, as we were just talking about. Everything boomed on Zoom. Details of their infiltration by pedophiles have emerged after a whistleblower came forward amid concerns that social media companies were facilitating the abuse of adults, children, and animals by enabling illegal content to be shared easily with just as little as 3 clicks without the cover of the dark web. Oh, man. Oof.
So it's a lot easier to get into a pedophile's Zoom room link featuring this abhorrent stuff than it is to discuss openly any questions you have about January 6th or the origins of COVID on social media. What a thriving democracy we have, huh?
Parents, don't let your babies go into the Zoom rooms. That might be a good safety tip. Just understand and know what they're doing online at all times.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.